Okay, hello again. We are going to move on to the next step of animating a pendulum. And the first thing I'm going to do, what you will notice is if I go to frame 2, my pendulum will disappear. I want to expose all of the artwork for 60 frames. So I'm going to go over to frame 60, right click on my mouse, and say Extend Exposure. And right now, we have a drawing that, for 60 frames, has been exposed. The next thing I'm going to do is, one point I'd like to make is we don't animate drawings, we animate pegs. And a peg is sort of like a peg bar sitting underneath a camera. Back in the old days, you would move the peg bar under the camera to make something move. Same sort of concept here. To add a peg to this drawing, I simply need to select the drawing that I want to add a peg to and press this button right down here, Add Peg. And you'll notice that my drawing now has a drawing -P above it. That is our peg level. Now the last step of part 2, video 2 in this pendulum animation is to add our pivot. Because when I turn on my animate and my transform tool over here, you'll notice that the pivot of my drawing is in the incorrect position. Basically, it's located in the center of the screen. So I need to find a toolbar, and it's usually active when you open up the software for the very first time, but if you don't have this toolbar available right now, you're going to go to Toolbars, Windows, Toolbars, and you're going to find something called Advanced Animation. If it's Advanced Animation, if it has a check mark there, it should be somewhere on your interface. To put the pivot of the peg into the position right here, we need to turn on the second tool called the Rotate tool. The Rotate tool, I'm going to just turn that one on, and then I can just drag the pivot up to the end of the pendulum. And that ends part 2. Creating the asset, exposing the timeline, and adding my pivot information.